I saw the most interesting sticker, which in Soho you see a lot of graffiti and word stickers and signs saying all sorts of things. And there was this tiny little sticker which had a phone number, and it was advertising black market toilet paper. Call this number for toilet paper.
I'm Tony Shrimplin, and I've been a resident of Soho for over 30 years now, and I'm the chair of the Museum of Soho, which is a grassroots registered charity that tries to highlight our 500 year of history, and also to remind people that there's a resident population here that's not all made up of millionaires.
I'm Sarah. I've been a Soho resident for 10 years, and I assist Tony with the Museum of Soho.
Well, as we were speaking earlier, I'd like to sort of say about our COVID experience during lockdown, because I think it was quite unique, yeah? Sarah?
It was a very, very unique experience, which, as a Soho resident, we actually enjoyed lockdown because we actually had the West End to ourselves and saw things from a completely different perspective during lockdown.
One of the things I noticed, which I wasn't expecting, was because we didn't have any bodies on the street, people in the area, what would happen is the sunlight lit the buildings up, and I wasn't expecting that, so it brought out the architecture, and that wasn't something I'd expected. Also, even though I'm saying our lockdown was like quite pleasant, we used to use St Anne's Gardens in Wardour Street, where they have the banqueting table. We meet out there socially distanced, of course. But I noticed one half of the table was made up of, how can I put it, drag queens in civvies, in their civilian clothes. And we had a great time. It really was a pleasant experience, but it was a way of bringing the community together. We met each other, didn't we?
Yes, we did, and it was a really nice way of getting to know, bizarrely, even though we were socially distancing, who actually lived in Soho and who actually stayed in Soho, and met people that you wouldn't have normally spoken to or normally seen. Quite strange to be in a city which is normally full of people when you're looking at the office buildings and the shops and that, and sometimes you sort of look and you think, did I see something move? Was there someone in there? And there was no one there.
One of the things I found at night was that it was, and I think you used this word, eerie. And yeah, I think that best describes it, because yeah, I've never been scared in Soho, day or night. But yeah, walking down Dean Street up to Tesco, yeah, it was eerie at night with only Tesco's sort of open in the distance. The Museum of Soho wasn't started by me, it was started by a local activist, Brian Burrow, who also started the Soho Society. And that was created by the residents because back in the 1970s, there were plans to actually flatten Soho completely and put high-rise offices up, as in like Centre Point. So that galvanised the community and the business community, as well as the residential, to sort of band together and save the area. So the museum was started in 1991, as I said, by Brian. I'm the current chair. We have about 500 years of history covering art, literature, science, and of course sex. We don't shy away from any of that. And we do have a physical collection. So one thing we want to do is obviously highlight the history of the area, which I said is varied and like, really wonderful. I mean, it's gone up and down, like it's the story of London. Remember, this is where north, south, east, west London converge. Yeah, all roads lead to here. I can usually connect it to some sort of story about London. But also we're here also to remind people that there actually is a residential population. Only around 3,000 now, but to give you like some sort of perspective, back in the 19th century, so 200 years ago, there were, at the time of Karl Marx, when he was living there was 30,000 people living in that area. Now, of course, that was overcrowding, yeah? I think a lot of people's impression of the area is it's either going to be the most wealthiest of people, and of course there is that element there, but also there's those properties that people buy, you know, that are just investment properties, which is really disgusting because there's no one living in them, and they're not going to. It's not like they're going to engage with the community. And we do have a real community in Soho.
What I'd like to say about Soho is most people don't even realise that anyone actually lives in Soho. And when you say you live in Soho, they look at you in amazement and think, no one lives there. But we do, and I've been living there for 10 years now, and it has been the most amazing experience of community. I have never lived anywhere in my life where I've felt such a sense of community. When someone's moving or somebody needs something or somebody's got something going on, we invite all the neighbours.
And we do look out. Sorry to interrupt, but we still look out for each other.
Absolutely.
And our elderly community, and our vulnerable community.